People. Let me get real with you for a second here. Aliens are real. All right, they're real and they exist. The Pentagon has flat out verified this. Have you ever heard about the Tic Tac video? That thing that rose up out of the ocean and a bunch of pilots tracked it with really expensive high-tech tracking software and stuff. Not only that, they saw it. They watched it. They saw it freaking come out of the ocean, fly up, take off at amazing speeds, do things that are impossible for any human tech to do. We've already seen this. We have verified it. The Pentagon verified it. With all of the best technology they have, and the American military has really good technology, they have verified its existence beyond a shadow of a doubt. So we know two things for certain. The aliens are real, and the aliens are here. Now pay close attention to the fact I said they rose out of the ocean. Now unless they were down there to wash their ship or just enjoy our marine life, that means they have a base down there. In all likelihood, they already have installations on our planet for no other purpose than to just watch us. So they're not just here, they're practically squatting. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're quaking in your boots. If you're really grasping what I'm saying, a little bit of pee might have just come out. Fear has gripped your mind. You are trying to come up with any reason possible to say, no, this does not exist. There is no way I'm going to believe this. I want to go to work tomorrow. I want to get Christmas presents for my kids and hope the price of gasoline doesn't go up and hope that I don't catch the common cold. I know. You're longing for any distraction that would draw your mind away from such an earth-shattering revelation. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, don't panic. Relax. Take a deep breath. Because I'm here to tell you, it's fine. These are probably some of the nicest sentient species you could possibly imagine. We're talking about Starfleet here, not Independence Day. They could have wiped us off the map in a million different ways. They are not here to kill us. They're not here to steal our planet. They're not here to do anything nefarious. They're just watching, very politely, but at a distance. They're not here to harm us. Well, you might be asking yourself, how do you know that? How have you come to these conclusions? You don't know anything about them. We don't know anything about them. That's true, but I do know their actions. Let's start right off the bat with the most obvious one. They're here to destroy us. You know what? It's incredibly easy to destroy us. Our solar system is full of giant rocks that would do nothing less than pulverize huge chunks of the planet and blast so much dust up into the atmosphere that it would cause an ice age that would wipe out the majority of mankind just like that. And you know why I know this? Because scientifically we already know this. We've seen numerous craters, gigantic, massive craters that we know for a fact at this point have led to the extinction of just hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of different animals, just all wiped out in the blink of an eye. Just by a rock, say maybe 10, 20 miles wide. Our solar system is packed with those, and it would be super easy to drag one of those into the orbit and drop it on our planet at any point in time. They don't have to bring alien dogs down to sick us or start blasting us with giant lasers. All they gotta do is drop a couple of rocks. Rocks fall, people die. And I tell you what, I also know they wouldn't be here for our resources because we have very few of them. If you know anything at all about the amount of resources available just within our solar system, if we could say go out and just mine that little rock that floats around our planet, you might know it as the moon. If we could mine the materials on there, there is more titanium. There is more precious metals. There are more rare elements on the moon than have ever existed on the Earth. And they're right there and they're so easy to harvest. And that's just the moon. Our moon, well, kind of large, is nothing compared to all of the other rocks just in the solar system we know of. There are so many precious resources out there that nobody's fighting over, that anyone can go mine whenever they want to. They're just sitting there. First come, first serve. I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, there is nothing on this planet any alien would want that they couldn't find in exponentially vaster amounts anywhere else. From life-giving water to gold, precious jewels, the best metals, everything is out there for the taking. And they don't have to mess with us at all. Well, maybe they'll come here and steal all of our incredible biodiversity. We have so much life here. Maybe they'll be here to, steal the cows and the little squirrels or a little flower that grows in a meadow. That would be easy to believe if the aliens didn't exist at all. Back when you had this concept that life only existed on the Earth and nowhere else in the universe, our biodiversity seemed amazing. But realistically, when you know something about the biodiversity of the Earth, you know that 99% of the species that have ever lived have already gone extinct. That right now, there isn't a huge amount of biodiversity compared to, say, 100,000 years ago. Some of that's due to man. Some of that's just due to nature. In all likelihood, any planet with liquid water probably has a massive amount of biodiversity. There isn't a single life form on Earth that they couldn't find some sort of allegory for in a million different other planets. And we know these planets exist because of interstellar spectrography. It's where you detect the planet passing in front of a star and are able to measure what's on the planet based on the planet's effect on the star's light. So we know there are hordes of habitable planets out there, probably with biodiversity we can't even begin to imagine. So again, there's nothing here on Earth that they could want besides us. Here's another popular theory. Oh, they'll come and take us away to some salt mine on Venus 512, where we'll be swinging pickaxes for the rest of our lives for our alien masters. If anything's been proven just by human experience, slavery is something that happens in an early stage of a species, not a later one. Well-developed cultures don't have slavery. They have robots, they have machines, they have devices that carry out functions. There's never slavery in an advanced culture. Only primitive ones have slavery. We can see that in European cultures. They kicked slavery in the Middle East ages ago. So they're not here to haul you away to some slave factory somewhere. They don't want you. You would probably be a really crappy worker anyways. Let's face it, if it's you compared to a robot, they're gonna go with a robot every time. Your fat, flabby ass is not the kind of worker they're looking for. I guarantee you that. How about some other paranoid theories? Maybe they're here to eat our brains. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they'd probably take a pass. Actually, considering something I learned the other day about the coelacanth, as I believe it's called. It is an ancient fish that we thought was extinct ages ago, but we found it in the deep ocean. The thing about the coelacanth is you can't eat one. Because we have evolved all the species, all the mammals across the planet, while the coelacanth really hasn't, we can't digest anything in its body. Like, it's toxic to us. Much like the horseshoe crabs. There's another ancient species that hasn't really evolved much. We can't process anything that's in those creatures' bodies without it harming ourselves. So they're not here to eat you. That's not even a possibility. The genetic separations between us would just be too massive for anything like that to happen. In fact, I would take it a step further. I don't even think an alien disease could affect a human being. Just because viruses require a certain amount of genetic compatibility. Like the virus that a dog gets isn't the kind of virus you can get. Sometimes viruses jump species. That's the time you get these dangerous little plagues. But it's awfully rare, and even then, we're talking about jumping species from like cows to humans, or bats to humans. Those are still all warm-blooded mammals. An alien's genetics is going to be so wildly different. There's no way they could have a virus that would jump to us. So we don't even have to worry about shaking their hands. Neither of us can catch each other's diseases. So do you feel a little calmer right now? Can we talk like actual grown-up adults? Up until this point, all we've done is shoot at them. That is pretty much the majority of the human interaction with aliens, is if we see a UFO, we take shots at it. Missiles, bullets, whatever we have at hand. I'm pretty sure we'd probably throw sticks and spears if that's all we had. We have not really welcomed these individuals. We have not really tried to talk to them. We have chased them, harassed them, ran from them, but we haven't made a serious attempt to talk to them, to show that we are intelligent, friendly, sane, rational beings that someone would actually want to communicate with. So we've moved past the debunkers, and we've moved past the critics. We know what needs to be done. Carl Sagan can start spinning in his grave because we have that extraordinary evidence for that extraordinary claim. It's time to take this to the next rational step and try to make real contact. It's got to be big. It's got to be a grand gesture. It has to be something that goes out there and says, we are ready to talk, we want to talk, we're willing to talk. It has to be nothing short of a gigantic glowing sign that indicates our willingness to put ourselves out there, to make the first move, and hopefully apologize for decades of all of the wrong moves. These aren't monsters from another world, these are our neighbors, possibly our future friends. Considering their benign actions, I think these are the kind of people we want to make friends with. Think of it like the alien races on Star Trek. These guys are clearly more like Vulcans than Klingons. It might be a great blessing that they found us before someone else did. It's a big galaxy, and a far bigger universe. There's no telling what sort of terrible beings might be out there. These could well be the allies we need going forward into the future. Would we act as benevolently as they have? Science fiction like Star Trek presents an image of the future with humanity at that level of benevolence. But our past is not so good. These beings have done nothing hostile to us. They've had more than the capacity to wipe us out, and plenty of provocation to think that maybe we should be exterminated. But if yet, they have only ever been patiently observant. Let's put aside our primitive fears and anxieties and really put ourselves out there to make contact. Details about the Tic Tac sighting and the Pentagon's statements will be linked below in the description. Stay tuned for part 2, my suggestion on how to make that grand gesture.